Welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on today's program, do the Texans have a secret weapon to help this offense that nobody's really talking about? It's a little bit under the radar, but I'm going to break it down on today's program. But before we get going, I need your help. My summer playlist, it's underway. I'm trying to get the songs together right now, so I need to know, what's the song you're listening to this summer? Maybe it's the song of the summer. Maybe it's just something you're jamming. Maybe it's an old school song. Maybe anything. I need to know. You're out on the lake. You're out at the beach. You're hanging out with the family at a barbecue. What song is playing? Let me know down in the comments section. And the best ones I'm putting on my playlist. So I need your help. Help me create my 2025 summer playlist and drop your songs down in the comments section. But that's not why you clicked into today's video. Not for putting my playlist together. You want to know the secret weapon for the Texans, and I'm telling you right now, his name is Trent Brown, right tackle, signed this offseason to a 1-year, $2.35 million contract. The problem lies in that he suffered a patellar tendon tear in week 3 of last year whenever he was playing with the Cincinnati Bengals, but he played 3 seasons in New England with Nick Caley on the staff, so he might have a little in right there, which I'll talk about later in today's program. But let's address the elephant in the room right now, and probably why a lot of y'all are skeptical at my first part of this video is the fact that, he's coming off injury. Is he good? How serious is the injury? I looked it up, a little WebMD action. Torn patellar tendon can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months. It all depends just on the severity of that injury. Now, he was posting workout videos prior to free agency, but there's a big difference between doing cone drills and being in game shape, right? There's a huge difference between you just running around a field and then when you have a 300-pound man in front of you trying to move you. There's a huge difference between those two things. And I will say, it's hard to trust this Texans team when it comes to reporting player injuries and just knowing how our guys are on the field right now and, how they are if they're not playing. Christian Harris, for an example. CJ Stroud with his shoulder, for another example. So Brown could be anywhere from he's good to go, he'll be ready to play during training camp, or he could get cut this offseason without ever playing a snap or without ever getting on the field for the Houston Texans. Now, no matter which way it is, if he gets cut, whether he makes the team, I got you covered all year long. That's why you got to hit that subscribe button for the latest news and updates around the Houston Texans. It's off season, but I don't take time off. Even in the off season, even in the dog days of the summer, I'm giving you the latest around your Houston Texans. So whenever it comes down to the season, whenever the Texans hit the field, you are the most notified fan. You are the smartest fan you possibly can be. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. Once again, 100% free. Now, 3 reasons why he could make an impact this year for the Houston Texans, whether that's starting or even being the swing tackle for this Texans team. He's played well in this system, right? He's played before with the New England Patriots, also with the Las Vegas Raiders, who their head coach at the time, Josh McDaniels, an ex-Patriot. His 2023 PFF grades last season with the Patriots, 579 snaps, an overall PFF grade of 80.2, run blocking of 80.7, and pass blocking of 72.8. He hasn't been this amazing tackle in the league. Only one Pro Bowl, and it came in 2019 with the Las Vegas Raiders. But I would say he's been a pretty consistent guy throughout his career. Now, he's had trouble staying on the field and having injury issues, right? So that's going to come into play. He's big dude, 6'8", 355 pounds, a massive human being. And that lies in some of the issues, right, with him being able to stay healthy, stay on the field, and kind of some conditioning concerns throughout his career for Trent Brown, because he's just, like I said, a massive human being. But as you see, look at the pass blocking grades. No pass blocking grades under 70, which that was probably one of the biggest issues for the Texans offensive line last year, was making sure CJ Stroud was upright in the backfield. So if Trent Brown is able to come in, he already kind of knows the system, has, like I said, been around this Patriot-style offense, working with the Patriots and the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe he can kind of step in kind of seamlessly and understand the lingo, understand this offense and what they want to do in terms of a blocking scheme as well. Now, coming up, the main reason he'll get a chance, The number one reason he'll get a chance, and kind of foreshadowed it already, and if you've watched my shows before, you probably have an inkling about what this is. I'll tell you what it is in just a moment, but I'll say this. I've hammered it the past 2 weeks. Father's Day is right around the corner. And if you don't get your orders in now, you're going to be stuck getting your dad a Chick-fil-A gift card and a high five. That's not what he wants. He wants some cool Texans stuff to put in his garage. He wants a new Texans jersey. He wants some cool stuff. Do not forget about him. Please, I beg of you, do not forget about your dad this Father's Day, because it always comes down to it, and he gets a box of Rusty Nails and a Snickers bar. He doesn't want that. He wants some cool Texan stuff. So if you go to chatsports.com/TexansDad, all this stuff will be available there and more. Go check it out and get it right now, because then it'll ship in time for Father's Day. Once again, this link, chatsports.com/TexansDad, will send you straight to the Fanatics website. Lets them know that we sent you over there, and you can check out all the cool Texans gear they have. That link in the comment section and description of today's show. The biggest reason why he can make an impact, this team, this front office, this coaching staff, they value connections. They truly do. And he has a boatload of them, right? And I sound like a broken record, but the connections, they truly do matter to guys like Nick Caserio, to guys like DeMeco Ryans, new OC Nick Caley. Who did he have as his O-line coach? Who did DeMeco Ryans promote to the O-line coach? Was Cole Popovich, who's worked with Nick Caley in the past, was on staff while Nick Caserio was working with the New England Patriots. So they have that continuity. They have that familiarity with these guys already, and Trent Brown does as well. He's played with Cole Popovich on the staff. He's played with Nick Caley on his staff. He's played while Nick Caserio was in the front office of that Patriots team. So, with all that being said, I think there's a legit chance, if he gets healthy, if his body's right, that Trent Brown could fight for maybe even a starting spot on this squad. Now, I know I'm taking a pretty big leap in saying that maybe he could even start for this team, but let's take a couple steps back. Do we think he's going to make the roster? Because we've talked a lot about the offensive line this offseason, probably ad nauseum. So let me know. Will Trent Brown make this team? Give me a yes, give me a no, give me your prediction down in the comments section. My guess is, if he's healthy, if you see him out there for training camp and he's doing the workouts, he's doing the drills, I do think he will end up making this team. And the last reason why he can make an impact, and this is probably the most pessimistic reason why, is if the young guys don't show out. If the guys that Nick Caserio drafted, the guys that we're really hoping take those leaps, take those next steps, they just don't do that. Right now, this is where I have the Texans offensive line depth chart. And as I've mentioned a million times, all these names are written in chalk. You can easily switch out any of these starters because nobody's spot is solidified on this team so far. And that goes for the right tackle position. Aireontae, Ersery, and Blake Fisher. Both these guys. We're expecting big things. And they're both really young guys. Blake Fisher's second year, but whenever he was drafted, I believe he was 22 years old. Still very young. Same with Aireontae. Ersery was taken this year in the second round as well, out of Minnesota. The Texans traded up for Ersery. So they have a lot of high expectations for both of these guys. And Cole Popovich has a lot on his shoulders to mold both of these young men. But are they ready to go this year? Because we're talking about guys who, like I said, they're young guys. They need molding. Are they ready? Or does Trent Brown at this time give you a better chance to win than those young guys? Because this team is in win-now mode. And I know we want the young guys to develop. We want them to get in. We want them to be ready. But if Trent Brown is better than them, if he gives you a better chance to win right now, that's what I'm going with. Because you have CJ Stroud on a rookie deal before you're going to have to pay him a bunch of money. You have Will Anderson Jr. on a rookie deal before you're going to have to pay him a bunch of money. So you have a great team around these young stars. You got to make the most of it. And that might be inserting a guy like a Trent Brown before you play some of your younger guys. Now, that's all I have for you on today's show, folks. You can always hit me up on Twitter at Jeremy Chugs. My DMs are always open if you want to continue the conversation. And if you made it to the end of the video, hit that subscribe button. We're bringing you free Texans videos all year long. All you got to do is hit that sub button. If you make it to the end of the video, I always say this. Give me 1 week to prove to you why this is the #1 Texans channel here on YouTube. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe, but I promise you, you'll love this channel just like the over 30,000 Texans fans have so far.